You're back with the crossover with Marlon Jones and Armon Williams.
All right, welcome back to the crossover. Marlon Jones, Armon Williams, KDUS 1060. Subscribe and follow us on our social media accounts on our YouTube and Facebook page. So that's youtube.com/at the crossover 1060, as well as facebook.com/the crossover 1060, where you can go ahead and check out our show. And we'll be putting in some more, adding more content beyond the show for you guys that do subscribe and that follow us on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube account. All right, this next story is it's a touchy story, Big Show time. So you're kind of walking on eggshells a little bit with this story because these are all allegations,
right,
of inappropriate relationship. Mm-hmm. There's some things that you can say about it, some things you can't say about it. You guys wondering what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about that there's there's allegations of Josh Giddy, Oklahoma City Thunder, having an inappropriate relationship with a minor. And the NBA is investigating the investigation has hit a snag. And part of the reason why it's hit a snag is pretty interesting story behind that. What looks like is that it's looking like that the minor, her parents are they're not participating with the investigation. They're kind of blocking the investigation. So the inquiry into whether Oklahoma City Thunder guard Josh Giddy has had an inappropriate relationship with a minor has hit a roadblock. So TMZ has learned that this is from TMZ Sports. They learned that the alleged teen and their family are refusing to cooperate with officials. And this kind of has a recurring theme beyond Josh Giddy, and we'll get into that. But Giddy is being accused of having an intimate relationship with an underage girl from California. There's strong belief that the underage minor may have been as young as 15 years old at the time of this alleged inappropriate encounter with this girl. And there's also content circulating around the internet of the minor bragging about having a hooking up with Josh Giddy in a post where Josh Giddy is actually shirtless behind her. And she says that she had an inappropriate relationship with Josh Giddy. She's bragging about the time that she spent with Josh Giddy, and the girl would have been a junior in high school at the time that incident happened. So there's a lot of outrage. Having to set that, there's a lot of outrage beyond just the inappropriate relationship, the allegations of the inappropriate relationship. Particular, and I want your opinion on this. Do you think that the Oklahoma City Thunder are handling this correctly or not? I think the outrage is some of the harsh critics is over the decision to let him continue to participate and play in the middle of all of this going on. And they're like, well, you didn't afford the same type of, kind of leniency towards Kyrie Irving over his controversies that he's had over the last couple of years, with the Hebrews to Negroes, whatever. That post that he posted out, which was a lot of like propaganda, a lot of crazy stuff. But in addition to that, his COVID thing prior to that, the season or a couple seasons prior to that, he missed pretty much the entire season due to his desire, his decision not to get vaccinated. And in New York, they had strict policies about whether or not you can even show up in a facility like the Brooklyn Nets facility and participate in the Barclays Center. Go ahead.
I think that's kind of like apples and oranges. I look at it back when, obviously, Josh has to go through due process. Sure. He's innocent until found guilty, first of all.
Absolutely.
So until that happens, if the Oklahoma City Thunder allow him to have due process and he hasn't broken any, severe on-the-books team rules, then they should allow him to play. And I take it back to when Kobe Bryant was dealing with his deal in Colorado. And, he was allowed to play during that time. And he actually played. The crazy part was some of the best basketball of his career.
He did, and he was like Dave Chappelle even wrote a joke about it, or
right.
told a joke about it back in 2003 in his comedy special about Kobe Bryant was playing like his life depended on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think from that standpoint, until it has been proven without a reasonable doubt on the matters of Josh Giddy, he's him as far as him being allowed to play, I don't have an issue of the Thunder allowing him to play. Precedent's been set prior. I mean, like you mentioned, Kyrie Irving. That's a little bit different. That's a whole, as far as I'm concerned, different subject. With the whole COVID and then the rules and that's and I think that was more of a team issue. I think the Nets decided as a team they had certain rules that they felt were broken, which is why they did what they did with Kyrie. Whereas Oklahoma City is looking at the situation. Everybody's doing their due diligence. It's being investigated thoroughly. And in their eyes, with Giddy cooperating and whatnot, and him not breaking any rules, I'm sure they're looking in their rule book thoroughly. Like, okay, what has he, and
what can they do
right.
as far as a situation like that? And you did mention the Kobe Bryant thing, and Mark Lamont Hill, who is kind of on the political side, but he does talk sports. He was talking about this a few days ago, about a week ago, and I thought that he put up a pretty good point. He said the NBA might have problem beyond the Josh Giddy thing. This is just kind of one instance. They may have kind of like a sexual violence against women issue that they're quietly kind of sweeping under the rug. And you mentioned the Kobe Bryant thing, and Kobe Bryant did get a chance to play. He's saying that maybe Mark Lamont Hill's his position, maybe Kobe Bryant shouldn't have played. Maybe they should have went ahead and put him aside. And then he went in a little bit deeper. He went into the Karl Malone scenario, the situation that happened back when Karl Malone was 20 years old when he was playing at Louisiana Tech University. Now, this is before he got drafted by the Utah Jazz and played in the NBA, but he had an inappropriate relationship, or allegedly had an inappropriate relationship with a 13-year-old girl.
At the time, it was alleged, but it's been proven.
It's been proven that, it was alleged at the time. It's been proven that and he did acknowledge, some responsibility. But, having said that, he didn't pay child support. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother ball of wax.
Don't give me started on that.
And he had a son. Yeah. His son wound up, Demetrius, wound up playing professional football in the NFL, and didn't have a relationship with him. And he also had 2 daughters from another woman. It got really messy. But then there's a tie-in with this particular team, the Phoenix Suns, with our home team, and with Kevin Johnson, that a lot of people don't know about won't talk about. Yet Kevin Johnson's in he's in the Ring of Honor. He's he's a celebrated player, teammate, ex-teammate, whatever. He's in the Ring of Honor. People love him. The community, former mayor of Sacramento, California. There were 3 women that came out around 2016 on HBO's Real Sports with Brian Gumbel that told their stories about the alleged molestation and misconduct from former Suns guard Kevin Johnson. This aired now. This is March 2016, so this is a while back. But there's a girl, Mandy Koba, that accused former Phoenix Suns star Kevin Johnson of molesting her when she was 16 years old back in 1996. And as part of a non-disclosure agreement, he wound up. She alleged that he wound up paying her about $230,000 to go ahead and keep it silent. Now, the tie-in with the Josh Giddy thing is now Josh Giddy, the people that the girl, the minor, her and her parents aren't cooperating with legal authorities at all. So obviously, might be that tie into that speculation. Did they pay him off? Did they pay the parents off and the girl off to not talk about this, to kind of let it slide? Because the Karl Malone situation that happened when he was 20 and she was 13 is they didn't press charges either.
No.
So that because he was going to go off to the NBA and they didn't want to go ahead and ruin his, potentially ruin his life.
I don't know. As a parent of, father or a parent of 2 daughters, there's not an amount of money in the world that I would take if something like that happened to my daughters. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why, if these serious charges with Giddy, why the parents of the alleged victim aren't cooperating.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know, but some people have a price.
Nah.
I think some people have a price. I can't say this is only speculation.
Yeah, for sure.
This is clearly speculation. I would not. I hate to say it. I wouldn't be surprised. It'd probably have to. I wouldn't do it. I sure the hell wouldn't do it, and you wouldn't do it. You have 2 daughters.
My price would be wearing an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
In Perryville prison for the rest of my life. That'd be my price.
Yeah.
After I deal with what they did.
Right.
After I deal with the dude. So I can tell you that without a reasonable doubt. 100%, that's not hyperbole. That's not me talking. That's exactly, I've come to peace with that. When it comes to my daughters, they can offer me Mark Zuckerberg money, No,
Right. No. Yeah.
no.
And the thing is the Kevin Johnson thing, 1996. The team, then the 16-year-old reportedly she reported it to the police department, but the abuse they went ahead and investigated it, and they didn't press charges back in 1996. So that's kind of how that ended. All right, wraps up that segment. All right, coming up next, we're going to go ahead and we got a new segment that I want to try it on y'all. It's called Hit It or Quit It. And we're going to hear it next on the crossover, KDUS 1060. Stay tuned. It should be fun.